Thank you, lady. My name is Dakota. I use she, her, they pronouns. I identify as disabled. I have a hearing disability and I carry mental health diagnosis of depression and eating disorder. So I want to welcome you to WADE, our Wellness and Disability Equity Alliance meeting, where we're doing what we can to ensure that people with disabilities are getting the behavioral health support that they need. Um, Everybody deserves to have good emotional wellness, not just people who are rich, people who live in houses, people who are emotionally evolved. Everybody deserves to live a life that is full of joy. So we're trying to provide services, the county, that are trauma informed and accessible. You know, since the world isn't necessarily designed for people like those of us who have brains and bodies that might work differently. So I do appreciate your time's valuable. Thank you for helping us kick off the post-eclipse weekend or pre-eclipse weekend. I did enable captions. If you hover over your three dots at the bottom on your taskbar, you can choose captions. And if any presenters or anybody who shares today has video to present, please enable captions on your videos. I have set the interpreters as co-hosts. So if they're expanded too big and taking up all your screen, you can just hit escape and that will get you into the regular screen. Or you hover over the upper right corner where the grid says view and make sure you're in gallery view. And I have to update this over here. When somebody does share their screen, you might have to hit escape just to get their shared screen smaller if you want to continue to see people in the Brady Bunch view. Now, for safety, any offensive or disruptive participants they'll be put into the waiting room. And if we close the meeting for that reason, just please watch your email for instructions on rejoining. And we want to know more about you, so let us give you the demographic link. You can use your QR code that's on the screen, or just click on Misty's link that she put in the chat and answer just a few questions about demographics. It helps us with funding when we say, you know, there's really a need. We have a lot of people with disabilities in Mecca who really need more support. We have a population of people this age that really need extra funding. So it lets us know where our communities are, and we'll put that link in the chat again later for people who join us later. And the land acknowledgement. Now, this is a first step towards building a more inclusive future where we eliminate the ongoing erasure of Indigenous peoples' voices and lives and history. So can I get a volunteer who can read the land acknowledgement?
Read that, Dakota.
Who is that?
Misty, this is Misty.
Thank you, Misty.
You're welcome. Riverside University Health System Behavioral Health acknowledges the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary homelands of the Indigenous peoples of Southern California, whose land it occupies. The Cahuilla, Cupeño, Luiseño, Serrano, Chemehuevi peoples and their ancestors have been here since time immemorial, caring for the land with integrity. The first peoples honored the earth, animal and plant beings, the water, and all peoples that lived here. We acknowledge this reciprocal relationship and intend to continue and extend the values of caring and emotional wellness to all Indigenous peoples, Native Americans, and residents of Riverside County. RUHS-BH creates relationships built on trust and accountability with its community members. With this land acknowledgement, Riverside University Health System Behavioral Health commits to be respectful to and mindful of tribal sovereignty, cultures, and beliefs of the Indigenous peoples of this land.
Misty, a kudos to you. Nice pronunciations. Have you been practicing that?
I have.
Oh, good. You know, and okay, so you opened up an idea for me. Sometimes in my brain, when I'm going to encounter somebody of a marginalized population, I have to sort of rehearse it in my head. Oh, yes, this person uses they. Let me try to remember that. You know, so it's okay if it's just us doing our homework and trying to honor marginalized peoples or a population that's been oppressed needs in this day and age. We have the icebreaker question. You heard the whole the whole Star Trek thing earlier. Now, if you are not a Star Trek fan, you are allowed to share a Star Wars idea. First Contact Day. This is the day, April 5th, that Ephraim Cochrane discovered warp drive, and the Vulcans established first contact with us. So you can either do this in the chat, or you can come off mic and tell me your name or your organization, and are you a Trekker or a Star Wars fan? And if so, favorite episode or favorite character? And I got my eyes on the chat here.
My name
And
is
if you-
Tana Butler. I am
Go ahead.
co-chair with Wade Alliance. And I don't watch neither one of them because I have seizures.
Because you have what?
Seizures. All
Seizures.
the flashing lights. I can't watch them.
Yeah. Fair enough.
1:15 p.m. 2 notifications.
I would like
Now,
to
+1,
take
7,
it.
6,
This is
0,
Will
6, 4,
Rogers
5, 0,
from,
5, 7, 1.
I work with
Silence call.
SoCal Adaptive Sports. And I'm blind and right leg amputee. Love to get out into nature and going on a great hike tomorrow, but I'll tell you about that later. And I want to say, you kind of gave it away already, was the Vulcans was the first contact.
They sure
Otherwise,
were.
I would say the Klingons or the Romulans, but I don't know.
Thank you, Will. Was somebody else was trying to share there? I'm so sorry. Was that you, Leslie?
Oh, hi. No, I can though, if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to meet you. My name's Leslie Quinones, and I am the Director of Disabled Students Programs and Services over at College of the Desert. And I'm very sad to share with you that I don't really know anything about Star Trek or Star Wars. I have other kind of interesting and different I'm obsessed with like quilting and embroidery, if that gives you an idea.
I'm a seamstress. I haven't gotten into quilting yet, but I sew this shirt I'm wearing, which you can hardly see because of the so we have that in common, Leslie. Who else? Nobody's in the chat. You know, this is the nature of humanity. We tend to be so narcissistic, I guess. I just assume everybody thinks the same thing I do, right? And the whole world loves Star Trek as much as I do. And I got to remember, people come from different walks of life in different worlds, and some people have real jobs and have to have to do stuff besides watch shows.
I have another theory, Dakota.
Okay, I'll hear your theory right after we call on Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really important with Star Trek. It's very important to watch it because it can honestly apply to cultural things that are going on. So you really can make a lot of applications to what's going on, like things that are happening in different parts of the world. And really, it's a wonderful show to watch. Seeing how they figure out problems, how they figure out to respect different cultures and different places. And that applies to us now and applies to what we do. People that are deaf, hard of hearing, disabled, it doesn't matter. Even whatever color hair you have, everybody is beautiful. But hello, my name is Lisa Price, and I'm the director here of Cody. And I've been doing this since 1994. Happy Friday. And that's it. But don't ask me which character I prefer. Don't ask me. That's way too hard for me to answer. I just watched one of the episodes yesterday. Who watched the new one? I think there was a new one. Anybody watch one of the new episodes that was just released last Thursday? No? Oh, okay.
I heard
okay.
of
I see people raising their hands. I see some people. But okay, and that was it. Thank you for letting me share.
Lisa, you're just a person after my own mind, and I'll have your check in the mail later. All right, who wants to share next? Star Trek, favorite character, favorite episode.
Well,
Hi, my name is
I'll
Michelle
go-
Wild, and I'm with Res Care Community Living. Believe it or not, I'm not a Star Trek fan. However, Years ago, I was a retail district manager. Actually, before I did that, I kind of climbed the ladder to the district manager position. And we did Star Trek conventions. So we had Star Trek phones, the Star Trek characters, and we traveled pretty much all throughout the state of California doing Star Trek conventions. So my dad was a huge Star Trek fan.
That is so great, Michelle. That's been my dream. I've gone to
Yeah.
sci-fi conventions, not a Star Trek
Yeah, I'm
convention.
sorry, my Zoom camera does not work. I have not quite figured out how to work it on this Levino computer that they gave me.
We're all living in 2024 and struggling. No worries.
Yeah, I
Thank
might
you
have
so much,
to
Michelle.
go get one and, stick it up there and see if it works.
All right. So if you haven't yet, please put your name into the chat and your organization you're with. And oh, there we go. Billy Shatner. So only his friends call him Billy, right? William Shatner. Billy. I love that. Okay. Any last
I'll go
sharing
ahead and
about-
share.
Yeah.
So, hi everyone. My name is Joel Hernandez. I'm one of the Pearls counselors at Inland Caregiver Resource Center. I don't dislike it. I enjoy it, but I'm not a follower, if that makes any sense. I used to watch it every so often when I got a chance, but I don't have like a favorite one. I do have like a favorite quote. I guess
I
it's a
wanna hear
character
it.
too. Like Scotty. Was it what's that saying? What's the quote? It's like, Captain, I can do it. I can do it, Captain.
That's got it.
Sorry if I like messed it up for everyone.
He was always
But that's
getting
my
after
best
the
impression.
captain, running the engines too hard. Oh, my poor Baron, he'd say. Yeah, cannot. I think somebody else wanted to share their favorite Star Trek or Star Wars.
Will did. He had something he wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes, thank you. Will, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Tana.
Well, from my knowledge of First Contact, I don't know if you can consider us going back to Save the Whales. That would be First Contact.
That was a great episode. That is known in the canon as the best Star Trek movie out there with humpback whales. Yeah. And Spock was a little loopy in that one. He was just sort of relearning himself and using colorful metaphors. Who else? Okay. I don't want to, we had a bit of a late start. So yeah, whales rule. Thank you, Greg. All right, I do want to go into the community agreements briefly. You've seen these before. If we do get disrupted, we'll get the person into the waiting room. And if we can't, we may close the meeting. Just check your email and we can rejoin. In accordance with our decision to be as accessible as possible, we remove all the barriers we can. We don't have passcodes. We're recording this meeting and we'll post it online for people who cannot attend. So by attending, you do consent to authorize to record this. And we have minutes approval. Last month, Dave Sholin did a nice presentation on MISA, the Mental Health Services Act, and I did send the minutes to him. So he's had an opportunity to make any adjustments to them. So I will go ahead and share the minutes now, but okay, I guess I have to do a stop share and start share to get that going. And I'll go through them pretty quick since David's already been able to sign off on them. Thank you to Tana Butler for stepping in last week for me doing jury duty. She did a great job chairing the minutes. Okay, I'll just go through this. Oh yeah, we talked about dog breeds, didn't we? Let me know if you need me to slow down. There's several pages here. And if you want to learn more about MHSS, we can make this document available to you also. And he did talk a little bit about the new BHSA, which since we've met last, it has passed. We did our trivia contest, the Peace Corps, and Glennis won the Starbucks gift certificate. We debuted the last 3 logos. We talked about that. And the okay. If that's not too quick, I know I soared through it pretty quickly. Can I get somebody to move that we approve these minutes?
I move.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second to approve the minutes. This is Misty.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Misty. Well, it's time for our agency spotlight. And from Inland Caregiver Resource Center, I want to introduce someone who's been working with our senior population for the last 5 years. And prior to that, he worked with at-risk youth for 13 years. So to share ICRC services, including 2 of the prevention early intervention programs, Pearls and Thrive, please welcome Pearls coach and longtime friend of this group, Joel Hernandez. Joel. I'll unshare in case you need to share.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you're muted.
There we go. All right. Thank you, everyone. Sorry about that. All right. So like I said, I'm one of the Pearls counselors, or Pearls coach at Inland Caregiver Resource Center. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about our agency, Inland Caregiver Resource Center. And I'm going to be focusing a little bit on 2 of our PDI programs, which is Thrive and Pearls. I'll start off with giving you a little history about ICRC, our mission goals. I'm going to discuss a little bit our services for caregivers and our mental health services. I'll talk about our PDI programs, again, Pearls and Thrive. And I'll explain a little bit about our funding, how we accommodate our clients, our referral process, and then I'll answer any questions you might have. So ICRC is a private nonprofit agency since 1985. We provide services throughout Riverside County and San Bernardino. We offer free services to family members or friends providing care for dependent adults. We also provide services for older adults who need at least 2 assistance with at least 2 daily life living. And we also provide services for older adults who are experiencing depressive symptoms or anxiety who live in Riverside County. ICRC, it is, well, our mission, it is to helping families and our community cope with and manage our challenges that are aging and caregiving. So we cater to 2 populations. Again, we cater to caregivers, meaning you're taking care of a loved one, a friend, or are you an older adult who needs a little bit more assistance? Okay. And some of our services that we provide are information and referrals, family consultations, respite care, case management, support groups, conference, retreats. We also work with Office on Aging. They have a program called Homemaker Services that we're able to help seniors who need a little bit of help around the house. We also provide senior support services. On our mental health side of it, we have Pearls. Pearls is an acronym. It stands for a program to encourage active rewarding lives for seniors. I'm sorry, I have I'm in my office and I have my little dogs down here, and one of them is kind of like weeping a little bit. I don't know if you guys could hear them. Okay, so Pearls, and then we also have another our mental health program, which is Thrive. Thrive, it is a cognitive behavior therapy for later life depression. This is both of our Pearls and Thrive are for Riverside County. We also provide short-term counseling for caregivers. We offer support groups, and we also provide psychoeducational classes and workshops for those caregivers taking care of their loved ones. So Pearls. Pearls is, again, a program to encourage active reward life for seniors, seniors over the age of 60 who live in Riverside County. It is part of the PDI program, Prevention Early Intervention Program. It is funded by our UHS and through the Mental Health Service Act. This is an evidence-based approach to address symptoms of depressions by decreasing the negative or difficult stresses that impact or interfere with their daily lives. Our Pearls programs is is composed about from 6 to 8 sessions. We either meet with the client at the client's home or anywhere in the community that client is comfortable with, as long as we have a little bit of privacy that we could be able to talk one-on-one. We met participants at senior centers, community centers, at the library. So again, wherever they feel comfortable, we'll go down there and meet them. This is a free service for qualifying seniors. It is we use a problem-solving model, which uses 3 elements to decrease depressive symptoms. One of which is problem-solving treatment. So we teach individuals how to problem solve. Now, we don't solve problems for them, but we do teach them this formula and how to be able to problem solve. By doing this, our participants have a better grip of the situations that they're going through, and they're less likely to start experiencing these depressive symptoms. Aside from problem solving, we also encourage behavior activations. We encourage participants to participate in at least 2 activities, one which would be a physical activity. A physical activity basically is just getting the blood circulating. It could be something as simple as walking if you're able to do so, or maybe doing some chair exercise. Again, the purpose is that you are doing something, moving around, you're circulating the blood. The other activity would be a social activity. A social activity entails just socializing with someone else. It could be, in person, it could be over the phone. The whole purpose of a social activation is that we are trying to prevent individuals from isolating themselves. And the other activity that we try to encourage participants to schedule and participate is a pleasant activity. What that is just doing an activity that brings them a little bit of joy. Anything they're able to initiate on their own, anything they're able to bring a little bit of enjoyment to that. So that is our pros, a quick, short little overview. Our Thrive program is part of the CBT, later life depression. It is a cognitive behavior. Excuse me, just one second.
Is that the dogs barking?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, I gotta go give mine a treat before he starts acting up.
Oh,
How's Guillermo doing?
sorry about that.
Okay.
Alrighty. So where was I? Thrive. So again, Thrive is part of the CBT, later life depression. It uses cognitive behavior therapy for seniors over the age of 60 in Riverside County. It is a community-based program working with a master's level mental health clinician. So basically, they're meeting with a therapist. It is a one-on-one with the participants, and they'll be talking about the situations they're at, the problems they're going in. A lot of times people have like a mental block. They're not able to get through it. And by attending Thrive and meeting with the therapist, it's kind of helps them deal with the situations and be able to move forward. Thrive is also part of our PDI. It is also funded through our RUHS, Behavioral Health, and it's also part of the Mental Health Service Act. It is a free service for qualifying seniors. It uses a clinical approach to decrease depression symptoms and increase the quality of life. It uses CBT talk model therapy. It is also an evidence-based program, addresses the symptoms of depressions by decreasing the negative or difficult stresses that impacts or interferes with the daily life. This program is about 16 to 20 sessions. Both of these programs, Pros and Thrives, total duration is about 6 months. The way it's set up, it's a little bit different. Pearls, again, it's not therapy, although it could be therapeutic in itself. The way in which it helps individuals is through, again, problem solving and encouraging them to be more active. Whereas Thrive, it is actually therapy. You will be talking with the therapist, and it is also part of the PDI, and it's about 20 sessions, 16 to 20 sessions long. So our funding, it is from Riverside University Behavioral Health Systems. They use the California Mental Health Service Act to fund these programs. and Thrive and Pros is one of those two programs. So we accommodate our participants where they at. What I mean by that is that again, we literally meet them where they at. If they're not able to drive or move around, if they feel comfortable doing these sessions at their home, we will be going at their home. Sometimes participants, even though they have a place, they just don't have a little bit of privacy. So that's where we would meet them in an office. We would meet them at a senior center. Again, wherever in the community they feel comfortable and we're able to have a little bit of a privacy, be able to talk. Also, another way in which we meet our participants where they are is that sometimes they need a little bit more support. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes, things that for anyone could seem something really simple, something easy that anybody could do. We understand that sometimes, people have situations that actually prevent them from doing these simple things. So again, we meet them where they're at. We try to support them as much as possible. We know that a lot of times they have a lot of things going on, so we try to accommodate their schedule as well. So referral process. You could refer anyone who is would like to the service, or anyone who would like to know a little bit more about it. As long as you get a consent from them, you could submit our referral form. Miss Dakota, I believe I emailed you all these forms also as well.
You did.
I'm not sure if you're able to email them as well. But one way in which you could refer a participant is through filling out these forms. Another way in which you could do it is by calling our 800 number, which is also on my on my back screen. And so 1-800-675-6694. You could ask whoever answers the phone that you would like to know a little bit more about these programs, either Thrive, Pros, or even some of our senior support services or services for caregivers as well. Another way, which is you could email, have the email straight down there. And another way is just talk to us directly. I'm also going to put down my contact number on our chat. So if you have any questions or you'd like to know a little bit more about these programs, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And that's about it. quick and easy.
Wonderful. Joel, we did get some of those numbers and emails into the chat, and I've got all the Spanish documents loaded onto the shared drive. I'll get the English ones on it after this meeting. What are your questions for Joel today?
So I must have explained it really well, right?
You must have. Yeah, if you have any kind of senior, of which I'm a population now, seniors who can use some extra help, ICRC is an amazing group. I took their Caregiver Pathways course when I was taking care of my mother, and it was such a blessing because I started to get she was challenging for me. I don't know how to say that. I was having challenges and getting short with her, and the Caregiver's Pathway helped me to get back in touch with my love and warmth for her. They also have support groups for that too. So it's Pearls and Thrive. You got the phone number in the chat. One more call for questions.
One of the other things that I didn't mention is actually pretty good compared to other programs out there is that we don't have a waiting list also. We don't have a waiting list because our program is through PDI. Our funding is a little bit different, so we really doesn't interfere with any other programs that participants might be having. So if they're involved with another program, they're like, oh, well, I don't, I'm afraid of one, I may not qualify, two, that, I may not, may take away from whatever I'm having. We don't ask information about your Medi-Cal or your social because, again, this doesn't interfere with any other programs. There's really no waiting list also as well. I know there's other programs out there that they have quite a bit of waiting lists. We don't have a waiting list. Basically our requirements for either both of these programs would be, one, you have to be at least 60 and over. You have to live in Riverside County. It doesn't matter what part of the county, as long as it's within Riverside County. And the other is that you have to be either at risk or at risk of starting experiencing depressive symptoms, or perhaps they already experienced them. Again, this is prevention and early intervention, so it's not really meant for someone who has long-term depressions. But again, be 60 and over, live in Riverside County, and either be at risk or starting to feel depressed, or already you're feeling that way. Those are the basically 3 requirements from there.
Thank you. I just love that poster I see once in a while. Depression is not a normal part of aging. So if you've got seniors out there who could use some extra
Yes,
support, this,
notification. On group now +1. Okay, 3
oh,
1.
Will,
six.
I'm going to mute you. Okay, there you go. All right. Appreciate Joel. Thank you so much for coming. It's just such a great program. And we get to move on to, I get this to fly, our trivia question. And too bad Lisa left, because she would probably win this. It's going to be, of course, because of First Contact Day, it's going to be a Star Trek question. And I have a Starbucks gift card, $20. Oh, it jumped right to the next question. Here we go. Which starship captain was so convinced the show would fail that they never bothered to unpack their bags for over a month? I've got my eyes on the chat. Let's see who has, or feel free to yell out the answer. Well, I mean, don't yell, but. No, Misty, it isn't Spock. Yeah, you can give me either the character or the actor. It was a starship captain, so that narrows it down to about 5. Okay, I'm going to start listing the captains then in order. Archer. What's his name? The one I like so much, who was singing. Okay, well, come to me in a minute. Kirk. Janeway. Picard. Cisco. Pike. That's the one I forgot. Thank you, Pike. And Cisco, and who? Oh, Saru, I guess, is the captain of the Discover. So, but it's not Pike, though. Sorry, Greg. It's not Christopher Pike. It was an actor who was he was involved with Shakespearean work. Thank you, Mary Peters. You're our winner today. Yes, it was Patrick Stewart. All right. Oh, okay. And Joel put his contact info in the chat. Mary, do me a favor and send me in the chat. You can post it. Yeah, he did. He did make some money off that show. Great. Post it in the chat, Mary, your mailing address. If you only want me to see it, you can click it just to me, so that I can get your Starbucks gift card in the mail. Ooh, okay. Thank you so much. You know, we like to have fun here. Thank you. We're going to move on to unfinished business, our 3 final logos, and the winner is, virtual drum roll, please. That one, the Wade Wellness and Disability Equity. This is not necessarily final. I wanted to use this meeting to see if there's any modifications you'd like, anything you'd like to change. One thing I will say is that if you make it really small, the wellness and disability part is a little small. So I'm thinking about making that bigger. Renee, who's in marketing, Renee with Building Bridges, had a suggestion. She says, this is our main logo. She says, but this flag with the words does a lot more explanation of what we do. So if there is a place where we have more room, like say a whole banner, to maybe use the logo on top of the flag like this. But generally that this would be, the one on the left would be our main logo. So are there any objections to us doing that? And did I explain it properly?
Can I offer a little bit of friendly
Input.
criticism?
feedback? Yeah, go ahead.
So I like it, but I don't know if it's just me. From first glance, I first thought it was a wave, especially because it's so close, and then you have the hand. So I think having the banner would actually help a little bit more with that, but maybe it's just me.
Okay, so you're saying the hand, it looks like a wave, and then the word looks like wave instead
Well,
of the
it kind of
word
looks
wave?
like, to me again, what's the word? Forgot the name of the word, but wave, like, like tidal wave,
Yeah, yeah.
like surf.
I can see that. I think if I make this text bigger and make this, this a little bit smaller, I think that might resolve that. Now, it's not our final one. Yeah, it looks like a crescent moon. Oh yeah, so the question about the word psych here in the flag, it's because the blue represents psychological disabilities, and I couldn't fit psychological, so I put psych, and I don't know, should I put an E at the end of psych? I was trying to, oh, or I could put a period after the word psych, maybe that would help. But Joel, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try enlarging this text and making this picture a little smaller. And so the arm is, of course, it's just cradling the people. It's not necessarily waving. And we do have that purple crescent in there, and it is the RUHSBH branding colors. So we're going to run this. We have to run it through marketing. So there still might be more changes. But if I don't hear any objections with those changes and with the idea that we have this round one for, buttons, say, and where it's more appropriate just for one round one, then we'll use that. If there is the opportunity to use it with the flag as the backdrop, that we'll do that. If I don't have any objections, I'm looking in the chat.
I think it's better with the flag.
Okay. Some people thought that when you shrink that down to very small, then it becomes sort of confusing. There's a lot going on. So that's why, this round would work better. But yeah, the flag does a better job of explaining what we do. As opposed, but Wade definitely should be in there because that's often how we refer to our group. Words for psych, plus or minus. Greg, I don't understand that. Well, you might have to send me a text on that. Send me some information about what you're trying to say, unless you want to come off mic. I think he's probably in a meeting or on his phone. Greg's one of our commissioners, an extremely busy advocate. Okay. If everybody's okay with this, we're going to move forward.
Dakota, it's Greg. I just came on.
Oh, Greg.
Is there any?
What did you?
Greg. Any other words for psych? Because I also kind of think of psyched out and other issues like that. I think the E at the end might refer more to psyche, which might not be that bad. I was just trying to Google synonyms for psych in the thesaurus.
Oh. Well, we could put mental, but that doesn't really.
Mentor?
Mental disabilities.
No, I don't think mental would be good.
We have an expert. We have an expert here. I want Leslie to weigh in with us. Go ahead, Leslie.
MINDSET, is that too long?
Let me get my pen and write that down. What did you say? MINDSET.
Mindset.
Oh, mindset. That's interesting.
Kind of broad.
So Greg, let's hear from Leslie. She works in this industry. Go ahead.
So
you're muted.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry. So we currently refer to are the technical jargon in the past has been more like psychiatric or psych. We currently utilize mental health. I know that's too long. Do you think if we used MH, would people understand that, or would that be too confusing? Or
we
if we
use
put
MH and BH.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what people think.
Yeah, the problem is that it's so high up in this stripe of colors that it's running into the round logo. So I'm wondering if I can rearrange the flag somehow. But I'm not sure. I might have to play with that. We had the ideas of BHMH, psychiatric. Mindset is interesting. Are there any there that I missed?
What if
Yeah.
we just swapped unseen and sight?
Well, I would, because this is the flag and this is the order they have them listed,
Oh,
the colors that represent. I don't want to be tinkering with the flag too much. I could
Do
make
you think
these, go ahead.
Sorry, so sorry. Do you think it might be possible to move the round logo up just a little bit and we could either spell out psychiatric or spell out mental health?
Yeah, I want to try that. I want to try that because if we're on a material, a surface that's big enough where we can use this version, then we don't have to worry about the round logo getting too small. All right. Oh, trauma. That's interesting. Joel says, I don't know, but people with dyslexia would perhaps interpret wave with the image representing an ocean wave, especially the word wave. Yeah. He sort of stepped back to the other issue. Switch with psych and unseen. Well, I guess I could play around with the flag. I think my first step will be to try shrinking the logo, the round part, and then putting the word psychiatric on there. But
Another
at
word
least
might be neurodiverse. That's a longer word.
yeah, neurodiverse neurodivergent is the yellow at the bottom. So that's different than psychiatric. Yeah. Thank you though. That's not a bad idea. Longer word could be put in the unseen. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Tana?
Well, I was saying, yeah, and swap it, if I'm psych, put psych where
Mhm.
unseen is.
Yeah, the flag, if it were the United States flag, I wouldn't be flipping stuff around, but possibly the disability flag. I would just something to think about.
I just want to say that you don't have to switch the colors. You can just switch the words.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not
Yeah.
disrupting the flag.
But they do say white represents this, yellow represents, I think.
Okay.
I'll double check on that, but I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's correct. If I'm going to show
Yeah.
you guys my flag here,
Uh-huh.
and the color actually does represent the disability.
Yeah.
The other thing is I could move the entire rainbow up and then put the logo in the lower left. So let me play around with those ideas. At least we have a good solution so far. We've got a lot of great input, and this logo was just a clear winner. So I appreciate everybody. I think we're complete enough. I'm going to go ahead and try doing a little tinkering. Greg suggests behaviorism, maybe. But yeah, what Misty says here, make the logo smaller to fit the wording. And yeah, we'll just tinker with that. But I'm going to revisit the flag and see if psychiatric, if they're really married to that, if there's another term we can use. But yeah, mental wellness, behavioral health, those are both as long as psychiatric, I think. All right. So we're going to jump to the next piece of unfinished business as we get closer to wrapping up. Okay, what happened was about 6 months ago, Blindness Support and Services Incorporated came to us and said, we are really having some challenges. We have consumers who are recently losing their sight and telling very tragic stories, and our support staff is getting stressed out by this. So they're asking for some extra support. So we wanted to partner with them. So what we're in the process of doing is creating an emotional wellness hub at the Blindness Support Services location, which is in Riverside. So we're having this grand opening. And what we've done is purchased this brochure stand, and we are creating documents that are high contrast and screen reader friendly. And we the charging station, we're providing that where anybody can plug in device, any kind of device can charge for free in the lobby. And we're providing one of our Help at Hand kiosks, which they can get on our Take My Hand website and talk to a peer. There are various RUHSBH resources available on this kiosk. So it's exciting that we're getting some movement with this. And people who have low and no vision have, whether they developed it or were born with it, different challenges, and we want to support them. So when we do this grand opening, we're going to do a PEI representative will be there to talk about the community education class opportunities. Now, remember, these are available to your consumers too. These free classes to the community, online and in person, your choice, on things like resiliency and wellness and stress management, how to talk to somebody who is in deep pain. And these classes, if you have anybody who's interested in taking these classes, I've taken most of them, and they're free for the community. It's part of our prevention and early intervention program that we hope with the BHSA passage will somehow be maintained with the county. So that's community education class opportunities. I've got them posted on our shared drive. We'll give you that link in just a bit. Well, we can give it to you now, actually. Misty can put it in the chat. I will be there to demonstrate the kiosk and talk about our cultural competence program. Misty is going to share about the Family Advocate program with the county, and a representative from Take My Hand will be there, possibly La Clave. If you have any Spanish-speaking consumers, La Clave is a wonderful cultural touchstone method of reaching out to that population to share in a non-stigmatizing way what severe and persistent mental illness symptoms look like. So, I think I got that covered there. If remember any questions about anything, please shoot me an email. I would love to talk to you more about all of these. We are doing our autism acceptance walk. We're going to be there with a table April 20th in Paris. It's at the Southern California Railway Museum. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll have a table set up. We'll give away materials. If you have materials you'd like to share about your community, join me at the table. Would love that. Shoot me an email and we'll get you set up. And I probably will be cruising for volunteers down the road. So April 20th is 2 weeks from tomorrow. This blindness thing, this is a week from Friday. Well, a week from today, so it's next Friday. And you're welcome to join. We're going to have refreshments. Okay. And as Tana mentioned, I do want to mention the One Life, One Heart Poisoning, Overdose, and Awareness 5K walk. This organization is going to be, we're not sponsoring, we're not putting any money, but we are tabling this event. And once again, Murrieta, I'm really focusing on Mid-County because they get short shrift, I believe, lots of times. The desert gets a lot of attention. Western, Corona, Morona Valley, those cities have a higher population, so they get a lot of attention. But sometimes Paris, like Elsinore, Hemet, Temecula, don't get the attention. So I really wanted to focus in that area. And if you want to join us for that, we'll have a table, we'll have swag, and would love to have you help us with the game. I do want to check real quick to see if Reba is with us today. I don't know, she's not. I was going to have her speak on Ramadan. There are just 3 more days, I think, before Ramadan is over. Thank you, Greg, for joining us. It was great. The Muslim population has been fasting during the day for the last several weeks. And the reason it's good for non-Muslims to know about this is because it's a time we can extend extra grace to somebody who's fasting during the day. They may have blood sugar level plummeting. And so it's just good for us to be aware of that. Reba, by the way, is our North African, Middle Eastern liaison counterpart to what we do here. So I think before we go to the community announcements, I do want to launch a poll. The same old poll. Do you want to meet in person? Let's see, next week, or do you want to meet on Zoom again? We understand people with disabilities often have transportation challenges. It's a huge county, so we've tended to meet on Zoom. We can meet in person whenever you want, though. I can arrange that. So the second part of the question, scroll down on the poll if you would. If we do meet in person, which region would you like to meet? And they do divide the county up into desert, mid-county, western. Oh, good. Yeah. And on that, I do have the, I can get them in. Whoops. There we are. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for bringing them in. Yes. Rachel says western. We're getting a lot of, so keep voting. We'll keep the poll open for about another 15 seconds. We want to meet in person. I do want to meet in person at least once a year. And we can make that one maybe a Christmas meeting, right? And have a, we've got some money, you guys, so we can make a little party of it if you like. All right, I'm going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is the poll showing on the screen? Okay, I'm just looking at my spare thing. It's not. All right. Let me let's share the results. Let's see what we got. Oh, so it is closer, but we're still going with Zoom next month. That's going to be May 3rd. Look forward to seeing you all there. And 2 announcements I want to make before we do go to the community roundtable. All right, let me stop sharing the poll. Thank you so much, everybody, for voting, helping us out with that. Here is the link for our shared Google Drive. This is where you can upload documents. Instead of having to go through me or having them emailed, go ahead and upload them straight to the drive, and anybody can who has this link can go and download them and get the documents themselves. And Misty will put that in the chat again so you can click right on it. Coming up on April 13th, that's a week from tomorrow, is the 2024 Indio Resource Fest. I just wanted to mention that's put on by the Rivco Department of Children's Support and Services. I think that's what DCSS is. And then the Inland Empire Disabilities Collaborative. If you're not a part of this and you would like to be, they have great meetings. They are in person right now. They did during the pandemic go online, but the next one is coming up April 16th, which is a week from Tuesday. And our very own Michael Rosenkrantz of SoCal Adaptive Sports is going to be presenting there. IEDC, Inland Empire Disabilities Collaborative. We have the website is getting loaded into the chat. Or, you know what, you Google IEDC, Inland Empire Disabilities Collaborative. It is a kind of a nonprofit offshoot of IEHP. And they do a lot of good work. It's a great meeting to go and network. Will, you should go with me next time. Let me see if I can swing by and pick you up next time we go to that. With that, let's making sure. Oh, before you leave the meeting, well, we'll go to the round table. The demographic chat is in the demographic link is in the chat. Okay, open it up to community roundtable. What do y'all want to share?
I have a few things to share.
Thank you, Misty.
If you don't mind, I would like to share my screen with you. Let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, so on your screen, you should see the One Life Poisoning and Overdose Awareness 5K walk.
Yes.
There is the event that Dakota mentioned. She's tabling in Mid-County on April 27th. However, this coming Saturday, April 13th, not tomorrow, but next Saturday, there is also one of these events happening at Fairmont Park. So registration table opens at 8 a.m. If you would like to register now to participate in either of these two events, the QR code at the bottom, you can scan that and enter your information. And if you don't pre-register, just know that we are accepting registrations there at the event. So you could just decide one day, I'm not doing anything, so let me go over here to the park and I'm going to participate in this walk. And that is, you will be accepted. We will have goodie bags and t-shirts and everything for you on location. So if you don't get a chance to pre-register, know that we would love to have you at any of these events. The next event that I would like to share with you coming up is the Art of Wellness. This is commonly what we call our May is Mental Health Month. So these will be regionally again this year, like last year. So the first one will be in Indio on May 2nd. The next one will be in San Jacinto on May 9th. And the last one will close out the events in Riverside on May 23rd. And I will also make sure you guys all get a copy of these flyers. And there will be ASL interpreting services provided at both of these events for the programming. The next event we have coming up is from the Family Advocate Program. We are going to be doing a Mental Health Service Act annual update, as Dakota talked about. And Joel also mentioned the Mental Health Service Act funded Pearls and Thrive. So if you want to learn more about what the Mental Health Service Act is, we will be doing a presentation here at the Ruston campus on Wednesday, April 24th at 6 to 8 p.m. ASL and Spanish interpreters are also provided. If you need any other language services, you can reach out to us and we'll make sure that we provide those as well. And then
Hey, Misty, before you
Yes.
go on, I just want to say congratulations on the great attendance to the brain health talk from Dr. Wilson. I didn't make it there, but I heard that it was just a really great event.
It was. We actually had about 109 people in attendance and the room holds 117. So that is one of the largest presentations that has happened here at the Ruston complex.
Yeah.
So we were really happy with the way that that event turned out.
Sorry to interrupt.
And it was so great. And there was so much information that we are actually talking about bringing Dr. Ben Wilson back for at least one, if not two more sessions, because he did such a great job and he has so much information and our families and our communities really want that information. So it just was it was a great turnout. It was a great event and we're looking forward to having him again.
Thank
All
you.
right. And then our final one in May, I know it's a little ways out there, but on May 29th, also from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Ruston campus, Family Advocate will be bringing the doctor for the family members and family and community members to meet the doctor who helps with our disease and treatment of addiction. So this will be a presentation with a lot of information geared specifically towards addiction and substance use. And it will help people to understand that addiction is a disease of the brain. So we're really looking forward to this presentation as well. Everybody loves to come and meet the doctor, right? Because when do you have a chance to do that? Usually you get in with the doctor, you get a couple minutes and then you're back out the door. But this doctor will be with us for 2 hours. So you can bring all of your questions and everything that you might have. And this is the way that we give our families and the community an opportunity to educate themselves. So we're looking forward to these events. Also, ASL interpreting services and Spanish will be provided for both of these events.
Well done. Yeah, Misty, you're getting some commendation from some coworkers about getting ASL at a lot of RUHS events. So you're doing a great job with that. Thank you. By the way, when we table an event, we generally have an ASL interpreter with us. Speaking of which, Rachel had an announcement regarding the Deaf Wellness Resource Fair. It's the 3rd annual. And it's coming up May 19th. Maybe Rachel will want to discuss at our May meeting that in further detail. But right now it's just a save the date. It's May 18th. I think I said May 19th. May 18th. Thank you so much, Rachel, for for sharing that. Uh,
I have a question for Misty. Will we get flyers of each of those?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They are going to be uploaded to the Google Drive, the shared drive, so you can access it yourself. Rachel, why don't you, when you get that flyer for the Deaf Wellness Resource Fair, be sure and load that up to the People with Disabilities shared drive.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about any resources shared, just contact me and I'll get you squared away. With that, no more community announcements. I want to thank you all for your patience as we getting everybody into the waiting room. Enjoy the eclipse if you're gonna see it. Don't look straight at it. This meeting is now adjourned, and we're gonna go out with Star Trek, another Star Trek song. I can't help myself. I'm sorry.